This is ABC 7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. You may be surprised how many arrests in Sarasota involve suspects with mental health or addiction issues.
Today, the city's independent police advisory panel announced plans to launch a new study. ABC 7's Ray Collins is here with more on today's meeting. Ray?
Haley and Scott, the police chief says up to a third of their 3,000-some annual arrests deal with Baker Act or so-called Marchman Act issues. Chief DePino says surveys have shown up to 80% of the homeless have mental health issues, and that's why she's glad the advisory panel will take a closer look at these growing numbers in Sarasota.
I think the Independent Police Advisory Panel is going to do some research on mental health and how many arrests and issues associated for law enforcement that mental health has for our police officers, and the dangers, the inherent dangers of individuals that aren't getting the help that they need, and how police are engaging with those individuals out on the street, and maybe come up with some solutions and funding sources to try to deal with that.
So once they compile those numbers, the chief hopes to have a forum with healthcare providers in the Sarasota area, and then eventually develop a crisis response team and provide alternatives to arrests. Haley?
Thank you, Ray. The city of Sarasota calls it a disturbing trend. Agencies from other counties, quote, dumping the homeless here in Sarasota. Now the city says it has proof and is filing a formal complaint with the state against a Naples-based psychiatric and substance abuse center called The Willow. The facility allegedly dumped one of its patients, Chad Stacy, against his will in Sarasota, leaving him on the Salvation Army's doorstep. Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, we go to Naples for answers from The Willow.
There's been the suspicion of this for quite some time, but finally we've been able to verify it. We've actually caught what should be a respected agency, literally red-handed doing dumping.
For more on this homeless dumping problem and what the city of Sarasota is doing about it, you can tune in to ABC 7 at 7 p.m. Now to an update on the ongoing saga at the Venice Public Library. Earlier this week, Sarasota County Commissioners decided to build the new library on the site of the old one.
That old building was closed after 50 years of service due to an ongoing mold problem. So what happens next? ABC 7's Christopher Bradley joins us live tonight in Venice with some answers. Christopher?
Well, good evening, Scott and Haley, from the Hamilton Condominium building, which is currently being outfitted to become the temporary library, while a new one is being built. Lou Ann Wood has been a vocal opponent of the county's decision to close the library. She started a petition to keep it open, which garnered 4,000 signatures.
Without my concerned group of citizens who are very well educated and very committed to the community, this would have slipped through the cracks.
The building is still closed, but Sarasota County heard Wood and others' concerns.
The most important factor was that the library stay in this area and on the island.
This past Tuesday, county commissioners decided the new library would be built on the island right near the old building.
Going to settle a lot of unrest in the city of Venice.
Venice Councilmember Fred Frey says the situation was bumpy at first, but he's glad the county and the city came together in the end. In the meantime, serious work is being done on the temporary location, the Hamilton building.
It's going to be in great shape once the county puts in over $250,000. So that's a significant amount of taxpayer money.
On Friday, we got our first look at the work. The building used to house individual offices. Now it's one large open space.
My concern is parking, the bicycle trail, the facilities for handicapped people.
The county says it is working to address those issues. For now, work goes on. The project manager says they hope to have the renovation finished by the beginning of August. And we did reach out to the county today to talk to them about this new library. We have not yet heard back, but we do know that no official plans have been submitted for the new library. Scott, back to you.
All right, Christopher, thank you. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission will consider 4 options when it comes to controlling the state's bear population. The FWC has received extensive input from the public and stakeholders over the last few weeks on what to do about the bears. The bear population has swelled in recent years, and the state is working to figure out the best way to handle the animals. On June 22nd, wildlife officials will consider 4 options. 1, hold a bear hunt this year that would be identical to the one held last year. Option 2 would be a more conservative bear hunt. The third option, postpone bear hunting in Florida until 2017. Finally, to not allow bear hunting in Florida at all. You can enjoy some freshwater fishing this weekend without a license. Florida's fishing license requirement is waived for all recreational fishermen Saturday and Sunday. This is for both Florida residents and visitors. It's a good opportunity for parents who don't have licenses but want to take kids fishing. An avid fisherman looking to introduce a friend to fishing without having to purchase a license. So get out there and wet a line this weekend. Let's get the latest on our weather, find out how that weather will be with Steve Newman, who's in for Bob tonight.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. There could be afternoon, evening showers and thunder showers, but even they are decreasing. Last night at this hour, we had a similar pattern with some stuff out in the Gulf of Mexico approaching the coast. They dissipated before they got here. I would expect the same tonight, but this time of year, the atmosphere is so chaotic, it's hard to give you a fairly accurate forecast. We have some strong storms from interior Sarasota and Manatee County right across the heart of Florida, but we have a weather eye out for this outflow boundary. You can see it blowing from these storms, and as it blows out, it's allowing back building of these showers and thunder showers, which are pretty heavy right now from downtown Bradenton right out through Lakewood Ranch, heading out to Arcadia and Mayaca City, not quite reaching the Bayfront. It's hard to say. Here is a computer model which has not initialized very well. Just for the next few hours, you can see some of them moving back, but I don't think there's high enough resolution to really give you a good forecast. But I'll do the best on an accurate forecast for the whole weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Steve. Now to a developing story in Dallas. A police officer shot and injured a man seen attacking a woman outside of Dallas Love Field Airport this afternoon. According to witnesses, the man was throwing large rocks and yelling, shoot me, I dare you." 9 shots can be heard on a video of the incident posted by a witness. You can hear a woman crying in the background as someone screams, "Get down." Police believe the situation involved a domestic disturbance between a woman and her children's father. That's when the officer got involved.
The report is that he was able to separate himself from that individual, gain some distance, try to gain some time, but the individual came toward him again, and so he discharged his weapon a number of times. That gentleman was struck and had to be transported to a local hospital.
According to police, the suspect was conscious when he was taken to an area hospital. The airport is still operating, but departing flights are delayed because all of the passengers had to be re-screened.
Former Stanford swimmer Brock Turner may only spend 6 months behind bars, but he has a lifetime ban from Team USA Swimming, the National Aquatics Organization, announcing he will be barred for life from any U.S. swimming sanctioned events. The organization issued a statement that he was not a member of USA Swimming at the time of the rape, and if he should reapply to join, he would not be eligible for membership based on its code of conduct policies. Turner was convicted of raping an unconscious woman on Stanford's campus in 2015.
A special concert honoring Flag Day will take place this weekend at Sarasota National Cemetery. The Military Officers Association of Sarasota is hosting this concert. The Pops Orchestra of Bradenton and Sarasota and Gloria Musici will play patriotic favorites in observation of Flag Day, which is on Tuesday. The concert will also include a formal flag retirement and retreat ceremony. The concert starts at 6 o'clock Sunday at the Patriot Plaza.
Beautiful spot for that.
Very.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, your risk of developing cataracts.
How a new procedure on the Suncoast can help those suffering with the condition and save their eyesight. That's next in Health News.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. Introducing ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community. With a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
Hurricane season is here, and Suncoast weather can go from this to this in seconds. So when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology so that we can bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
Plus, we focus on the Suncoast and track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. On the next Black Almanac.
The preservation and publication of Black history need only be trusted to those of whom the history represents. This way, we can be sure these great contributions will never again be destroyed, ignored, or marginalized, or diminished in any way from recognition and appreciation, looking at Sarasota and Newtown through the eyes of its Black citizens.
Sunday morning at 7:30 on ABC7. ABC7 is proud to present Line Dance Central. Now you can learn popular country and not-so-country line dances from the comfort of your own home. Just visit mysuncoast.com, click on Entertainment, and you'll be kicking up your boots or flip-flops in no time. Brought to you by the White Buffalo Saloon and Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
That's Chuck, proud homeowner, regular do-it-yourselfer. Today he's attempting an electrical repair. This is Pablo. He's an electrician with Mr. Sparky. How's he doing, Pablo?
Terrible, Mike.
Yeah. What Chuck doesn't realize is that almost 68,000 home fires are caused every year by electrical problems.
What?
If he doesn't have the proper tools and training, he's liable to start the next one.
Little help here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You might want to write that number down.
June is Cataract Awareness Month, and ABC7's Alex Redmond joins us now with how a sight-saving procedure is now being performed. Alex.
Thanks, Haley. If you think cataracts won't affect you, consider this. If you live long enough, you will develop cataracts because age, the environment, and health are among the many reasons why cataracts develop. This is what it's like to have cataracts.
It feels like I was looking through a screen.
Glare from vehicles posed serious consequences for Nancy Manchester.
I took a turn on a very familiar road and turned the wrong way, like on the exit.
Cataract surgery was once a major surgery involving a hospital stay, possible scarring, and possibly even bad outcomes.
Back in the day, I wouldn't have probably had cataract surgery.
The whole cataract had to be taken out in one piece. And to do that, you had to have a pretty large incision in the eye that was made with a blade.
Ophthalmologist Dr. Kathleen McCabe says years ago, cataract surgery required several sutures, long recovery, and had greater risk.
Bleeding, infection, retinal detachment, and actually worsening of astigmatism, which has to do with the shape of the eye.
Now, exciting changes of cataract surgery, says Dr. McCabe, involve a 10-minute procedure, very small incisions, and besides no swimming, no downtime.
And we were able to do that when we started using ultrasound to break up the cataract into tiny pieces, and then those pieces are removed and the incision stays small.
Patients receive medication to make them comfortable, numbing drops, and during the procedure see nothing specific, says Dr. McCabe, just colors, shapes, and lights. The implants roll up into a tiny diameter, explains Dr. McCabe, and are inserted through a tiny incision. No stitches are needed.
The implant can unfurl in the eye very gently, maintaining that small incision, and patients see well almost immediately. We can correct your distance vision, we can correct your near vision, we can correct one eye for distance, one eye for near, or even put lenses in that can do both distance and near in a single eye itself.
It's been a couple of weeks since Manchester's surgery.
And my vision is now 20/25 in that eye. So I'm anxious to get the right eye.
Manchester's astigmatism was corrected during her cataract surgery, and she's scheduled to get her other eye done next week. Now, the Eye Associates are currently enrolling people in clinical studies involving cataract surgery for patients that have glaucoma. And we'll have a link at mysuncoast.com. Just click on Health.
And Alex, is this cataract surgery covered by insurance?
Yes, the basics of cataract surgery are definitely covered by insurance, but if you want the high-tech lenses, the ones that can adjust your vision, there is a little bit of an upcharge on that, but that's different according to which kind of lens you get and what your doctor prescribes.
So speak with your doctor about that. All right, thank you, Alex. Now let's head over to Steve, who's in for Bob tonight.
Hi, Haley. You know when we get a shower, what we get? hopefully in the evening, we get a rainbow. In fact, a double rainbow. Thanks to Gus Guerrera for sending this in from yesterday when the sun came out after a shower past celery fields. It was beautiful. If you could look very carefully, kind of hard to see on your home set, but there is the other rainbow off to the upper left. Across the area right now, I told you just a few minutes ago that Lakewood Ranch was just getting hammered with a very heavy shower. It's been looking, I'm going to get out of the way, menacing, and then just within the last hour, it has started to pour down, and it's continuing to do that. With temperatures in the interior fueling the heat, Tampa cooled off by the rain right now at 79, Fort Myers 82. South Florida's also had some cooling during earlier showers. We've warmed up from the 70s that the Sebring and Lake Placid cooled off about 3 or 4 o'clock. And along the coast, temperatures in the low 80s. Probably the most pleasant conditions you're going to find are right on the Keys this time of year with that sea breeze and away from the interior heat. But it's still going to be humid even at the beach. But that's what the beach is for, to get in the water. Water temperatures already in the mid 80s. Our high today at Sarasota Bradenton International Airport was 89, 1 degree above the normal. But last night's low was much warmer than you would expect for this time of year. Taking a look at radar, we have some storms off the coast, as we did at this hour last night. They are likely to dissipate. You can kind of see them beginning to fade already as they approach the coast. The storms in the interior are also beginning to mature as the heat of the day is peaking out, and an outflow boundary is approaching the coast, causing these very heavy showers from downtown Braden to Lakewood Ranch out toward Mayaca City and Arcadia. Those could be problematic for the next hour or two, but I think the back building may stop before it gets to, say, Tuttle or Beneva, but take an umbrella out if you're going to be out in the evening tonight. And those showers and thunder showers stretch across the entire state, and it's a pattern that will slowly subside as high pressure builds in over the weekend. Well, the storm track, other than the storms down here, is shifted to the north, giving very pleasant conditions to the northeast, but very hot. And that heat is triggering an outbreak of severe storms in the upper Mississippi Valley with a tornado watch from the Twin Cities back up to the UP of Michigan, a severe thunderstorm watch to the south. And it's fueled by all that heat. 94 in Chicago at this hour, but look at New York City, a lovely 76, Boston 72. The tropics are quiet. You kind of see a swirl going on down here. That's just a gyre. The conditions are not favorable for tropical storm development through the Caribbean or Atlantic, so don't worry about that. Watch what happens over the weekend on our future cast. High pressure is the key. The stationary front that's been triggering the showers and thunder showers slowly dissipates, and watch what happens as the high moves over us. Sinking, drying air kind of clears out most of the clouds, except for the sea breeze front, right along the coast, right on through the afternoon. On midday too, on Sunday and Monday, we'll see afternoon and evening thunder showers. So here are your weather headlines. Look for it to remain hot and muggy. There's really not too much I can do about that, or anybody else can. Fewer thunderstorms as a result of the high pressure coming in over our area, and the tropics, as you just saw, remain quiet. Out on the water should be beautiful conditions with southwesterly winds developing in the afternoon 5 to 10, seas 2 feet or less with a light chop, and bay temperature, Gulf temperature 86, the air temperature 85, but that UV index, it's way up there at 11. And here's our 7-day outlook showing that we will have a 30% chance of showers tomorrow and Sunday, more of a sea breeze front on Monday and Tuesday, so chance goes up, but really just subtle changes. It's going to be downright muggy all through the next 7 days. Haley?
And we are used to that. Thank you, Steve. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. There's a crash on I-75 southbound near the exit for River Road. There's also some construction in the area, so do expect a few delays.
6 airlines have been cleared to start scheduling flights to Cuba out of 5 cities, but Tampa is not on that approved list. The Department of Transportation says airlines can start scheduling those flights between Cuba and Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Minneapolis-St. Paul as early as this fall. The flight agreement is part of the Obama administration's efforts to normalize relations with Cuba. Under the arrangement, each airline can operate up to 10 daily round-trip flights between the U.S. and each of Cuba's 9 international airports other than Havana. A decision on those Havana routes will be announced later this summer.
Tesla Motors is denying allegations that there are safety problems with its vehicle suspensions. The electric car maker says one of its cars had an abnormal amount of rust on a suspension part, a problem it hasn't seen in any other car. The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is asking for more information from owners and Tesla about Model S suspension failures, but the agency has not opened a formal investigation.
Your entertainment news is coming up next.
At SWC Properties, we pride ourselves in providing to you the very best in customer satisfaction, and the secret's getting out. Maybe that's why so many people have chosen to list their homes with our friendly and qualified agents. After all, it only makes sense to list with a growing agency that markets in so many places. To list your home with SWC, give us a call at our Sarasota office. And don't forget to watch the House to Home Show every Saturday night here on ABC7. It's simple. We just market your home better.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
With new products and technologies constantly evolving, even being pregnant isn't the same as it used to be. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, one of our trend experts is expecting. She's found the latest and greatest pregnancy items to share with us. We learn more about celebrating the 151st Juneteenth anniversary here in Sarasota. Dr. Jenny is back and Table Creekside in the kitchen.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
Monday on ABC7 News at 7.
These donors own Hillary Clinton. They own her. And Bernie Sanders was right about that, I have to tell you.
Donald Trump focusing now on the general election and trying to win over Bernie Sanders supporters. But can he win the Sunshine State in November? Hi, I'm Ray Collins. That story plus our roundtable discussion.
Monday on ABC7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you. On the next Black Almanac.
The preservation and publication of Black history need only be trusted to those of whom the history represents. This way, we can be sure these great contributions will never again be destroyed, ignored, or marginalized, or diminished in any way from recognition and appreciation, looking at Sarasota and Newtown through the eyes of its Black citizens.
Sunday morning at 7:30 on ABC7.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology.
And focus on the Suncoast.
The official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Thank you, thank you. My fellow Americans, as your candidate for president, I will make bling affordable with Spectralite diamonds.
Spectralite diamonds are manufactured in laboratory conditions to equal the finest natural diamonds.
This political message was brought to you by Created Gems and the Bling Party.
Big bling for little change for you.
Gordie Howe, the hockey great who set scoring records that stood for decades, has died.
His son Murray Howe confirmed the death today. Gordie Howe set NHL marks with 801 goals and 1,850 points. That held up until Wayne Gretzky surpassed his idol in the record books. Howe was also so famously fierce, using elbows and fists to rough up opponents, that a Gordie Howe hat trick became synonymous with the combination of having a goal, an assist, and a fight all in one game. Gordie Howe was 88 years old.
Local basketball broadcasting legend Dick Vitale agreeing to a one-year contract extension that will keep him at ESPN through his 40th season with the network. ESPN announcing the deal on Vitale's 77th birthday yesterday, which now goes through the 2018-2019 season. Vitale says his goal is to be the first announcer ever to call a game and say, "You're awesome, baby," at 100 years old. I think he could do it. Yeah. The former Detroit Pistons coach joined ESPN during the 79-80 season, just after the network's September 1979 launch, called its first major college basketball game. The Lakewood Ranch resident worked more than 1,000 games since then. Rob Lowe is preparing to be roasted. Comedy Central making the announcement on Twitter. The West Wing and Parks and Recreation star will take the hot seat in this year's big Comedy Central roast. It will be filmed in Los Angeles and air later this summer. Past honorees include Donald Trump, Justin Bieber, and Charlie Sheen.
James Corden is getting ready to host the Tony Awards this Sunday. Corden, who happens to be a Tony Award winner himself, admitted earlier this week that he is, quote, very nervous about hosting. The 37-year-old British TV host told The Hollywood Reporter he felt honored to be asked.
Hollywood has been haunted by subpar sequels this year, but The Conjuring 2 should do well at the box office. Analysts say the horror flick should easily debut at #1, earning anywhere from $35 to $40 million. The news is not so good for the other new sequel. The magician thriller Now You See Me 2 is getting less than thrilling reviews. The weekend's wildcard movie, Warcraft, based on the popular online role-playing game. Critics hate it apparently, but it is doing very well overseas. I would think fans of the game will
probably see the movie.
Yeah.
And I always wonder why there's so many horror films. It seems like that and they make so many sequels and follow-ups too. All right, we'll be right back.